The true heiress of the wealthy family has returned, yet she perceives me, the daughter of the steward, as the greatest threat to her quest for affection. Thus, in the absence of the false heiress, I have become the impostor in her eyes. She openly ridicules me, exclaiming, "What qualifications does the daughter of a steward possess to attend an elite academy?" Indeed, I am the daughter of a steward, but my father earns a substantial annual salary, sufficient to cover the tuition fees. On the very first day of the true heiress's return, she harbored the utmost malice towards me. Upon her arrival, she gazed at me with tear-stained eyes, lamenting, "Is this the girl who has been substituting for me alongside my parents all these years?" The wealthy couple, still immersed in the joy of their daughter's return, failed to perceive the sarcasm in Chi Cici's tone. Mrs. Chi, wiping away a tear, remarked, "This is Sanine, a very considerate child. You two can become good friends should you have any questions now that you are back. Feel free to ask her." However, Chi Cici pouted defiantly, "Mother, now that I have returned, shouldn't the one who has taken my place vacate it? Do you intend to show favoritism towards this impostor? If so, I would rather not have come back to this family." I, in an instant, the formerly touching reunion turned awkward. Mr. Chi opened his mouth, uncertain. Impostor? Where does this impostor come from? Mrs. Chi looked at Chi Cici with bewilderment. "Child, what nonsense are you speaking? When did we have an impostor?" Chi Cici pointed at me, declaring, "Isn't she the impostor? Surely you do not consider her your biological daughter, just because you raised her for a few years." Standing nearby, I felt somewhat helpless. "Miss Chi, my biological father is right here." I gestured towards the steward, who was dressed in a tailcoat. Chi Cici's eyes widened in surprise. "So you are the steward's daughter. Perfectly fitting, since your biological father is merely a steward, and I have now returned. You must accept the reality that I am the true daughter of my parents. No matter how long you've resided in this house, I have returned, and thus, I am the sole lady of this household." "What does that mean? Have I lost my biological parents?" Chi Siu, standing nearby, gazed blankly at Mr. and Mrs. Chi. Mr. Chi's expression darkened. "Cici, what nonsense are you spouting? Sin is the daughter of old Sin. When did she become our lady? Your sister is still here. How can you claim to be the only lady of the house?" Only then did Chi Cici notice the young girl of about 11 or 12, who had been standing quietly to the side. Upon recognizing the young girl's features, Chi Cici gasped, "Mom and Dad, is it because I went missing that you gave birth to another child to replace me?" Chi Siu, hurt by the implication, looked at her parents. "Mom and Dad, did you have me as a substitute for an older sister?" The expressions on Mr. and Mrs. Chi grew increasingly grim. Mrs. Chi embraced her second daughter, offering comfort. "Siu, you are your own person, not a substitute for anyone. Don't think like that." Chi Cici, what sort of nonsensical ideas have you been exposed to? When you went missing, your sister was only 3 years old. How could she possibly be a replacement? Mr. Chi could no longer restrain himself from admonishing Chi Cici. Feeling somewhat embarrassed, Chi Cici sheepishly touched her nose. "I was quite young when I went missing. I simply don't recall that I had another sister." Mr. Chi, somewhat exasperated and doubtful, responded, "Cici, you were 9 when you went missing. Do you genuinely not remember having a sister?" A fleeting look of panic crossed Chi Cici's face, but she quickly clutched her head, feigning a splitting headache. "Dad, I truly don't remember. When I was abducted, the traffickers beat and berated me. Every time I think of my childhood, my head throbs." Seeing her in such distress, both Mr. and Mrs. Chi felt a pang of sympathy. Mrs. Chi hurriedly enveloped her in an embrace. "Good child, if you cannot remember, then do not dwell on it. What matters now is that you have returned after all the hardships you have endured over the years. We will make it up to you." Chi Siu stepped forward. "Sister, now that you are back, that is all that matters. Mom and Dad have been searching for you all these years. They have never given up on you." 2. Chi Cici lay in Madame Chi's embrace, wiping away her tears as she expressed, "Thank you, Mom and Dad. I knew you would never abandon me." After the Chi family spent some time comforting her, Cici finally ceased her weeping. She lifted her head from Madame Chi's shoulder, her gaze still filled with resentment as she continued, "But when I think about all the hardships I endured over the years, while Tsanin, the daughter of the housekeeper, enjoys a life of comfort in our home, it truly pains me." My father's expression darkened upon hearing this, yet he maintained his politeness, saying, "Miss Cici, although my daughter has stayed with the Chi family over the years, all her expenses have been borne by me. Moreover, her presence here is due to the hopes of the master and mistress that she might assist Miss C.E. with her studies." The members of the Chi family nodded in agreement, addressing Cici. "Indeed, Cici, Xin is a fine girl. She excels academically and is quite remarkable. Her staying with us was our request, so she could help your sister with her studies." However, Chi Cece pouted, but she is merely occupying my place. I can tutor my sister just as well. You may not know, but despite all the hardships I've faced, I have consistently ranked in the top 10 of my class. I would certainly be capable of helping my sister with her studies. Mom and Dad, please send her away. I do not wish to see her. Noting the uncomfortable expressions on Madam Chi and Mr. Chi's faces, Cece decisively stood up, declaring, after all the suffering I've endured outside, you have nurtured a housekeeper's daughter in your home. Now that I have returned, you still choose to defend her. It seems you do not welcome me back. So I shall leave. With that, she began to walk out. Madam Chi hurriedly stood to stop her. Silly child, how can you leave right after returning? We love you dearly. How could we not welcome you back? Observing the Chi family's predicament, I stepped forward. Mr. Chi, Madam Chi, now that Miss Cece has returned, she can assist Miss C.E. with her studies, so it is only appropriate for me to move out. I then bowed to them. I am grateful for your care over the years, but I shall be leaving today. Seeing my willingness to depart, though the Chi family felt awkward, they also sighed in relief. Mr. Chi, somewhat embarrassed, spoke. Sanine, please understand that Cece just returned and feels insecure. She does not mean to target you. Do not take it to heart. Rest assured, Mr. Chi, I am fine, I replied, turning to my room to gather my belongings. My father followed me in, helping me pack, as he said, perhaps moving out is for the best. You have lived here for many years, and we have hardly spent any time with your mother. I recognize that today's incident has caused you distress. It is my status that has caused you this discomfort. If you are truly unhappy, I will resign from my position at the Chi family. I quickly shook my head. Dad, you're doing wonderfully here. There is no need to resign over such a trivial matter. Besides, what is wrong with your status? You are one of the foremost high-ranking housekeepers in the country. Others would wish to have you in their homes. So how could it possibly be a burden to me? 3. Moving out of the Chi family home did not significantly impact me. My father's high salary allowed us to purchase a villa near the Chi residence. Thus, upon leaving, I simply entered my own home, where my mother awaited, making me feel even more at ease than I did at the Chi residence. However, I did not anticipate that despite my departure, Chi Cece had no intention of letting me go. A week later, her school registration was transferred to the prestigious academy I attended. On the way to school, the Chi family's driver still picked me up as usual. Upon seeing me exit the villa, Chi Cece's eyes turned icy. So, they have secretly been raising you outside.
Senyin.
Let me make myself clear. I am the true young lady of the Chi family. Now that I have returned, you should put away your little schemes. The Chi family belongs to me. Do not even think about encroaching upon it. I could only think her behavior was absurd and initially intended to take a taxi to school on my own, refusing to ride with the Chi family. Yet Chi Cece insisted, never mind, just get in. Consider it a pity for you. Gritting my teeth, I prepared to refuse, but the driver interjected, Sanine, please get in. Even if you were to take a taxi now, you would not make it in time. Reluctantly, I complied and climbed into the car, following her to school. As soon as the vehicle stopped at the school gate, I opened the door and stepped out, eager to avoid lingering with Chi Cece. Just then, I ran into my best friend, Jiang Zhao, who had just arrived at school. Upon seeing me, she waved enthusiastically. Sanine, come here. I brought you your favorite chestnut cake. I smiled as I walked toward her. Unexpectedly, Chi Cece swiftly stepped in front of me. Puzzled by her action, I watched as she approached Jiang Zhao and the others with a smile. Classmates, allow me to introduce myself. I am Chi Cece, the biological daughter of the Chi family's affluent head, the true heiress of the Chi family. Jiang Zhao and the others, somewhat perplexed by Chi Cece's declaration, could only respond with polite but awkward smiles. Hello, classmate Chi Cece. Chi Cece nodded in satisfaction and glanced at me. You may not know, but this Sanine, whom you just called, is not a young lady of the Chi family. She is merely the daughter of the housekeeper, a fake heiress. If it weren't for our family's support, she would never have been able to attend a prestigious school like Huaying. You are all young ladies of affluent families. So, do not be deceived by this fake heiress. Initially, Jiang Zhao and the others maintained polite smiles, but their expressions darkened upon hearing her remarks. Chi Cece misinterpreted their reactions as anger at being deceived by me and continued cheerfully. Now that I have returned, the Chi family has expelled her. I only wanted to ensure you don't fall for her tricks. When did Sin become the fake heiress of the Chi family? Jiang Zhao retorted, visibly displeased. Chi Cece was momentarily taken aback, seeming to struggle with why Jiang Zhao's tone was so unfriendly. After a moment's thought, she responded. I have heard that she has been living in the Chi family all these years, with a family driver picking her up for school. She has deliberately created the illusion of being the Chi family's heiress. Everyone present was left speechless by Chi Cici's words. 4. Jiang Zhao, known for her forthrightness, could hardly tolerate Chi Cici's remarks about me. Classmate Chi Cici, Itzanin has never fabricated such an illusion. We all know her father is the Chi family's housekeeper. On the contrary, you claim to be the true heiress of the Chi family. Who knows if that's true or not? Feeling her identity questioned, Chi Cici turned crimson with anger, forcefully pulling me closer and pointing at me. You must tell them whether I am the true heiress of the Chi family. Jiang Zhao. Chi Cici is indeed the daughter recently found by the Chi family. Chi Cici raised her chin triumphantly. Did you hear that? Xin Yin herself has admitted it. I am the true heiress of the wealthy family. Now you understand whom you should befriend. Jiang Zhao and the others gave her a disdainful glance before moving to my side. Jiang Zhao placed the chestnut cake in my hands, saying, Let us go. This person seems unwell, and I hope her condition isn't contagious. I was pulled away toward the classroom by Jiang Zhao and the others. Chi Cici, taken aback by the cold reception following her attempt to validate her identity, stomped her foot in frustration and shouted in our direction. I am the daughter of the wealthy family. If you do not seek my favor and choose to befriend the daughter of a housekeeper instead, you will surely regret it. Her voice was loud enough for everyone at the school gate to hear. Jiang Zhao and I felt embarrassed and quickened our pace to leave. Meanwhile, others watched Chi Cici with puzzled expressions. However, it seemed that Chi Cici did not perceive the odd looks. Rather, she believed she was the center of attention. Suddenly, she resembled a peacock displaying its plumage, strutting with an air of arrogance as she made her way through the campus. Upon arriving at the classroom, Jiang Zhao could not help but voice her thoughts, that Chi Cici is indeed the daughter of the Chi family. I nodded in acknowledgement. Yet, she bears little resemblance to her family. The Chi family is renowned for their elegance and courtesy. How could they possibly have such a daughter? I shook my head in silence, urging her to prepare for class. Not wishing to press further, Jiang Zhao dismissed the matter, allowing it to slip from her mind. However, to my dismay, when the class bell rang, our homeroom teacher entered the classroom with Chi Cici in tow. I felt a wave of darkness wash over me. Was I truly unable to escape this lunatic? The teacher briefly introduced Chi Cici as a new student in our class and then invited her to present herself. Chi Cici strode confidently to the podium, a smug smile gracing her features as she surveyed her classmates. Dear classmates, you may not have heard of me, but from today onward, remember my name. I, Chi Cici, am the true heiress of the Chi family. Her declaration left the students in shock. Even those who had been engrossed in their books looked up in surprise. The teacher, momentarily taken aback, cleared her throat and gently reminded her, Chi Cici, please stick to a conventional introduction. Chi Cici raised her hand, gesturing dismissively at the teacher, as if to indicate that she should remain silent. I've been away from the Chi family for 8 years, and while you may not recognize me, I bear no ill will. However, you must understand that I am the genuine heiress of the Chi family, while Xin is merely an impostor. Do not be misled into befriending the wrong person. At that moment, both students and teachers alike were incensed by her words. Jiang Zhao slammed her book onto the desk, exclaiming, Is this lunacy never-ending? Other students echoed her sentiments, expressing their confusion. What do you mean by befriend? Who are we supposed to curry favor with? The teacher's face darkened as she shot Chi Cici a fierce glare, stating, Chi Cici, in this school, all students are equal. Regardless of your lineage, everyone deserves respect. Do not bring societal hierarchies into our academic environment. Upon hearing the grievances of her classmates and the teacher's admonition, Chi Cici's expression turned awkward, and she cast a resentful glance in my direction. You all must have been bribed by Xin, the false heiress. The students and teachers found her utterly incomprehensible. The homeroom teacher contemplated dismissing her from the podium, but Chi Cici stubbornly interjected. Who doesn't know that students at a prestigious institution like Huiying are primarily here to forge connections? Do you think Xin, the fake heiress, is favored in the Chi family, thus conspiring to ostracize me? Let me clarify, I have always been my parents' favorite. Now that I have returned, Xin, the substitute, has been cast aside. You must consider whether you wish to continue your friendships with her. At this juncture, the teacher's face was a stormy hue, and she approached the podium, forcefully tapping the desk with her finger. Chi Cici, Huiying is an educational institution, and the purpose of students here is to learn, not to network. Now sit down in an empty seat and pay attention to the class. Chi Cece's eyes widened in disbelief as she exclaimed, I am the daughter of a billionaire, and you dare to treat me this way? She appeared to think that her status entitled her to special privileges. Yet, she failed to grasp that this was Hueying, where not only the students, but even the teachers were of considerable standing. A mere billionaire would not compel the school to bow before her. The teacher rolled her eyes in exasperation. I do not care whose daughter you are, here at school. You are required to focus on your studies and let your grades speak for themselves. Do not flaunt your family background. Upon hearing this, Chi Cece, initially indignant, suddenly brightened. She raised her chin with an air of pride. Rest assured, I am not like the gilded sons and daughters of your school. I have consistently ranked among the top 10 in my previous institution. With my presence, I will undoubtedly elevate our class's average score significantly. She then addressed her classmates. If you encounter any difficult problems, feel free to approach me. Although you were quite rude earlier, I am not a petty person and will help you all improve. As Chi Cece spoke, she remained oblivious to the incredulous expressions on the teacher's face and the disdainful looks from her peers. Hueying's reputation as a prestigious school was not merely due to the wealth of its students and faculty, but also because of its exceptional educational quality. The students received elite education from a young age and possessed various skills, with many having won national awards. Hearing Chi Cece's claims was nothing short of laughable. Nevertheless, the teacher chose not to engage further, simply directing her to an empty seat, insisting, Now, sit down and pay attention in class. Reluctantly, Chi Cece took her seat, and the lesson commenced smoothly. Throughout the day, Chi Cece found herself either ignored or met with sarcastic remarks whenever she attempted to engage with anyone. Oh, you are the daughter of a billionaire. I wouldn't dare speak to you. It was evident that she felt ostracized, glaring at me with discontent before resting her head despondently on the desk. I found this perplexing. Her social exclusion stemmed entirely from her own offensive remarks. What did that have to do with me? After school, Chi Cece insisted that the driver take us both to the Chi residence. Upon exiting the vehicle, she dragged me into the living room, bursting into tears before Mr. and Mrs. Chi. Mom and Dad, the ungrateful wretch you raised has been bullied at school, and the other students have united to isolate me. On my very first day, I was mistreated. The incredulity on Mr. and Mrs. Chi's faces was palpable as they turned their attention to me. Mr. Chi hesitantly inquired, Cece, are you sure you are not mistaken? Sin-een is a sensible and obedient child. How could she possibly bully you? Upon hearing this, Chi Cece's wails intensified. She is a scheming vixen who pretends to be docile before you, yet conspires with her classmates to bully others. I was tormented from the moment I stepped into the school, and even my claim of being your daughter was of no help. Witnessing their daughter's distress, Mr. and Mrs. Chi's expressions darkened. Mrs. Chi fixed a cold gaze upon me. Sin-een, is what Cece claims true? I shook my head, Mrs. Chi. That is not the case. You are aware that bullying incidents are virtually impossible at Hueying. Wealthy and influential parents choose to send their children here, and the school boasts excellent security measures. Bullying simply cannot occur. Upon hearing my statement, Mrs. Chi nodded. Indeed, Hueying does not entertain such incidents. But what of verbal bullying? What of emotional abuse? Because of her, no one is willing to speak with me at school. Chi Cece continued her tirade. Sin-een is the best actress, forming cliques at school. Just because I returned, she is envious of the affection you show me and has conspired with her classmates to isolate me. Mr. and Mrs. She exchanged displeased glances in my direction. Sin-een, we have always regarded you as a sensible child and have treated you well over the years. How could you treat our daughter in such a manner? Seeing her parents cast blame in my direction, Chi Cece smirked triumphantly, raising her eyebrows. Indeed, my parents took you in, only to nurture an ungrateful wretch. They have shown you nothing but kindness, yet you bully their daughter. You are truly shameless. Finally, my father, who had been standing silently at the side, could no longer contain himself. Mr. and Mrs. Chi, I believe my daughter would never engage in such behavior. We cannot take only Miss Cece's word for it. My father shielded me behind him, facing the wrath of the main family with unwavering composure as he proposed. If you wish to uncover the truth, the most prudent course of action would be to investigate at the school. Upon hearing my father's words, Chi Cece voiced her dissatisfaction, stating, Are you implying that I am lying? You, a mere steward, possess no authority to question my words, Mississippi. She further threatened, Do you dare to provoke me? I could easily have you dismissed. Chi Cece, You must not address Stewardson in such a manner, Mr. Chi interjected, clearly displeased. I protested, Father, her daughter bullies me. And instead of demanding an apology from her, you side with her. You profess to love me, yet you heed the slander of this father-daughter duo. I continued, if you hold such little faith in me, why did you even bring me back? Was it merely to subject me to further torment? Chi Cece collapsed onto the sofa, weeping sorrowfully. Out there, I am alone, without parents, and I must bear the brunt of the bullying myself. I had hoped to finally find my biological parents, someone to support me, yet I am still victimized. Her recounting of past sufferings tugged at the heartstrings of Mr. and Mrs. Chi, with Mrs. Chi embracing her tightly, exclaiming, Good child, how could we allow anyone to bully you? Do not cry. It pains me deeply to see you hurt. I will seek justice for you. Upon hearing Mrs. Chi's words, Chi Cece lifted her tear-stained face, asserting, Then I demand you expel her from Hueying. I no longer wish to see her. Mr. and Mrs. Chi were taken aback by her request. Hueying is not our institution. We cannot simply expel someone at will, Mr. Chi replied with resignation. However, Chi Cece retorted defiantly. Hueying's tuition is exorbitant. Without your sponsorship, could she afford such an elite institution? Why not cease your financial support? What do you mean by our sponsorship? Mrs. Chi replied, somewhat awkwardly. Cece, do not speak carelessly. Itzanin's tuition is paid for by her own family, not by us. Chi Cece clearly disbelieved this statement, exclaiming, You think to deceive me. Her father is but a steward. How could he possibly afford to send his daughter to a prestigious school? My father interjected calmly, Miss Cece. My annual salary is $8 million, along with various other financial investments. Affording a prestigious education for my daughter is well within my means. Chi Cece's eyes widened in disbelief, and tears streamed down her cheeks once more. Do you truly favor Tsanin so? Is this why her father receives such a high salary? Mr. Chi sighed. Old Sen is a senior steward, renowned across the nation. His remuneration is merely a reflection of his professional standing, unrelated to Tsanin. I refuse to believe that a steward earns such a salary. You simply bully me because I have been absent for years, and you seek to deceive me. Chi Cece continued to wail, demanding Mr. Chi dismiss my father. At that moment, Mrs. Chi's phone rang. Reluctant to answer, she discovered it was the homeroom teacher calling and had no choice but to pick up. As soon as the call connected, the teacher firmly stated, Mrs. Chi, although you are busy with work, it is imperative to pay attention to Chi Cece's education. She claims to be the true heiress and demands that her classmates curry favor with her, forbidding them from befriending Tsanin. She even asserts that attending Hueying is merely for networking. I understand you have only just found this child, and it is natural to indulge her somewhat. However, her behavior is causing a negative impact at school and has already sparked resentment among her classmates, hindering her ability to make friends. I believe this reflects a shortfall in family education. You must guide Cece properly, or she will struggle to integrate into her class. With each word from the teacher, Mrs. Chi's expression became increasingly awkward, while Chi Cece's face turned pale, marked by indignation and defiance. After the teacher concluded, Mrs. Chi promised to ensure Chi Cece would be properly educated before ending the call. Cece, so you were deceiving us all along? Mrs. Chi's tone was heavy as she spoke. Chi Cece pouted, Mother, I am not lying. The homeroom teacher has been bribed by Tsanin and is deliberately targeting me. Today in class, the teacher led the bullying against me. You say Tsanin bribed the teacher? Mrs. Chi questioned. Yes. It is precisely because you have favored Tsanin all these years that she is regarded as the Chi family's little princess at school. The teacher bullies me to please her. As she spoke, her sorrow deepened, and she attempted to nestle into Mrs. Chi's embrace, pleading, Mother, you must confront the teacher at school and make her aware that I am the most cherished daughter of the Chi family. Yet this time Mrs. Chi did not embrace her daughter, but instead turned away. Mr. Chi could no longer contain himself and slammed the table with force. Chi Cece, do you even comprehend the nonsense you are spouting? What teacher at school would need to curry favor with the Chi family? How could anyone be bribed? Startled by his voice, Chi Cece halted her crying, gazing incredulously at her father. Father, we are the wealthiest family. Which teacher or student wouldn't seek to curry favor with us? If it weren't for Tsin living with us, she would have no friends in school. Mr. Chi was infuriated by her comments. He placed a hand over his heart and spoke earnestly, Cece, yes, our family is wealthy, but wealth does not equate to everything. The teachers and students at Hueying come from distinguished backgrounds. No one will seek to flatter us simply because of our status. Moreover, school is a place of learning. You cannot presume superiority merely because of our wealth. Sin-in has many friends because she is truly exceptional. You should learn from her rather than slander her. Upon hearing Mr. Chi's words, Chi Cici's expression darkened. She bit her lip, heartbroken as she gazed at her parents. After all this, you simply favored Sin-in. Had I known my return would be in vain, I would not have come back. As she spoke, she wept and rushed to her room, slamming the door behind her. Mrs. Chi wished to console her but was restrained by Mr. Chi, who cautioned, let her reflect on herself. Indulging her will only spoil her further. Following this incident, my father concluded that remaining in the Chi household would only bring me more trouble. Thus, he promptly tendered his resignation to Mr. Chi. Naturally, Mr. Chi was reluctant to let him go, yet my father insisted, Sir, Miss Cici harbors considerable animosity towards our Sin-in. My presence here only affects her and will inevitably impact our Sin-in as well. Mr. Chi recognized his own shortcomings, especially given the grievances I had suffered. Ultimately, he acquiesced to my father's request for resignation, albeit hoping he would remain for the remainder of the month. My father had no objections, assuring that he would serve the Chi family diligently during this final period. Upon hearing of my father's departure, Chi Si was distraught, pleading with him not to leave. After all, she had essentially been raised under his care, receiving more attention from him than from Mr. and Mrs. Chi. Upon learning the reason for my father's departure, she reportedly confronted Chi Cici, resulting in a heated argument. However, the young girl lacked the talent for conflict. As she accused Chi Cici of driving me away upon her return, and now causing even the steward to resign, Chi Cici merely scoffed. You are merely jealous that I am favored more by our parents. 2 mere servants, and you are so attached to them? Perhaps you have spent too much time with them, and have become one of them. I am your biological sister. Instead of standing by me, you side with 2 servants. I see you are nothing but a fool. Fortunately, I have returned. Otherwise, the Chi family fortune would have been squandered by your foolishness. Chi Siyu was overwhelmed with tears, deeply hurt by her sister's relentless disparagement, yet she found herself unable to utter any harsher words to this sister, who had just returned to her life. Thus, she retreated to her room, consumed by sorrow. The following day, I refrained from taking the Chi family's car to school. I thought that after avoiding her at every turn, Chi Cici would no longer provoke me. However, upon entering the classroom, I was met with the sneering laughter of Chi Cici. She rose from her seat and addressed the class, saying, Yesterday, you all doubted that I am the favored daughter of the Chi family, currying favor with Sin-in, the daughter of the steward. But do you know? Just because I went home to act cute, Sin-in's father has been dismissed by our family. It was only because he pleaded with my father that he was allowed to stay until the end of the month. Furious at Chi Cici's distortion of the truth, I felt as if I might shatter my teeth from clenching them so tightly, and I stepped forward to confront her. Chi Cici, can you stop spouting nonsense? It was you who slandered me at home, which prompted my father to resign. Chi Cici merely cast me a disdainful glance. What do you mean? Resign voluntarily? Our family pays your father such a generous salary. How could he bear to leave? He.s. just saving face in front of you. As I was about to continue arguing, the majority of the class rushed over, surrounding me. I found myself encircled by classmates, exchanging glances with Chi Cici through the crowd. With a triumphant expression, she declared, See, without our Chi family, you'll just have to endure being besieged by your classmates. But in the next moment, the cacophony erupted with students clamoring, Sin-in, is it true that your dad is resigning? Come to our house. My parents have been wanting to hire your dad for ages, just waiting for the opportunity. Come to our house. We always wanted your dad as our steward. No. He must come to our house. Sin-in is my best friend. He is to come to us. Jiang Zhao pulled me close, grinning. Others protested. Fair competition. Jiang Zhao. You can't play favorites. Besides, we have a good relationship with Sin-in too. You can't be so sly. As I watched my classmates become increasingly enthusiastic about competing for my father's services, Chi Cici's expression darkened. She finally couldn't hold back and shouted, Are you all insane? I'm the daughter of a billionaire, and instead of courting me, you're befriending the daughter of a steward? The crowd turned to Chi Cici, regarding her as if she were mad. What's wrong with the daughter of a steward? Do you think she's not a person? Besides, do you know about Steward's and S capabilities? He's one of the best stewards in the country, adept at managing household affairs, children's education, and even financial matters. Who wouldn't he want such a steward in their home? Only your Chi family fails to appreciate him. With that, the crowd pulled me aside, continuing to persuade me to have my father work for their families. I waved my hands in mild exasperation. I never interfere with my father's work. Once he resigns, you can try contacting him yourselves. Upon hearing this, the classmates didn't press further, but instead pulled out their phones to inform their parents, preparing to invite my father. Chi Cece, infuriated by the scene, stomped back to her seat, muttering, "And you all claim to be students of an elite school, yet you lack basic resource management skills. Squandering my valuable connections to vie for a steward. You're nothing but sheltered flowers, utterly spoiled." The students had grown accustomed to Chi Cece's remarks, merely exchanging cold glances before choosing to ignore her. After this incident, her social standing at school deteriorated further. She even lost her desk mate, and no one approached her within a 5-step radius. She attributed all this to my influence, her gaze towards me filled with venomous resentment. In just a few days, my 18th birthday would arrive, and my parents intended to celebrate it grandly. They urged me to invite my classmates to a birthday banquet at our villa, which my father would organize. Upon receiving my invitation, my classmates expressed their delight and assured me they would attend. "Sinine, how wonderful it is to have your dad. I've heard that the parties he arranges are always a hit." I nodded with a smile. He makes sure to understand each guest's preferences. Only Chi Cece, standing nearby, regarded me with a scornful, almost knowing look that unsettled me. Yet, as she did not provoke me further, I chose to remain silent. On the day of the banquet, as my classmates arrived, I was about to lead them into the villa when Chi Cece stepped forward. "Sinine, you say this is your family's villa?" Her smile was laced with derision. I found her question bewildering. "Of course it is." Her smile widened at my response. "If you claim it's your family's villa, then let's see if you can open the door." I thought her behavior absurd. Was opening a door such an impressive feat? So, in front of her, I input the passcode and unlocked the villa door. Seeing me actually open the door, Chi Cece's expression shifted to one of shock. "How is this possible? I specifically told my parents to change all the codes for our villas. How can you still open this door?" At that moment, I could no longer contain myself. "Chi Cece, I've already said this is our family's villa. Today, everyone is here to celebrate my birthday. If you don't wish to join us, you may leave." She rolled her eyes at me and retorted, "You vain woman, using someone else's property to bolster your facade. Of course, I'm staying to witness your embarrassment." I was furious, yet it was my birthday and I wanted my classmates to enjoy themselves, so I chose not to engage with her further. Just as I was leading my classmates into the villa, my mother appeared to greet us. Upon seeing her, my classmates politely greeted her, but Chi Cece approached, scrutinizing my mother from head to toe. "So, you're Sinine's mother? You must be the maid of the Chi family, responsible for cleaning this villa? No wonder I wondered how Sinine could enter. It turns out it's because of you, the family thief." My mother was taken aback by her words. Though irritated, she remained composed, addressing her rationally. "Excuse me, I am Sinine's mother, but I am not anyone's maid. Welcome, everyone, to my daughter's birthday banquet. Please come in." With that, she invited everyone into the villa. The banquet my father organized was exquisite. Though not large, the banquet hall was particularly refined. The food had been tailored to suit my classmates' preferences, so upon seeing such a comfortable setting, everyone felt delighted and tactfully ignored Chi Cece. They all presented me with birthday gifts, and my father unveiled a magnificent birthday cake he had personally crafted, its beauty resembling a sculpture. My classmates were astonished by my father's culinary skills, with some already pulling out cameras to capture the moment. Only Chi Cece approached my father, addressing him in a condescending manner. "Stewardson, you haven't resigned yet. Why are you here instead of serving your masters?" My father's expression remained unchanged as he calmly replied, "Miss Cece, today is my daughter's birthday, and I have taken leave from Mr. Chi. So this is my personal time." Chi Cece pouted. "Personal time, is it? Does that mean you can use our family's villa and resources to throw your daughter a birthday party?" My father was momentarily taken aback by her words, then frowned and said, "Miss Cece, this is our family's villa." In the very next moment, 2 police officers entered the villa, fully armed, demanding, "Who called the police?" "It was me, officer." Chi Cece immediately raised her hand, declaring. The officers quickly stepped forward, shielding Chi Cece behind them. "Who has intruded into this private residence?" Chi Cece pointed accusingly at all of us and said, "Officer, it is they who entered my villa without my consent to hold a birthday party." The officers furrowed their brows and turned to my parents, my father and mother. "Did you force your way into her villa?" My parents promptly denied it. Officer. This is our own villa. Nonsense. You are merely our family's butler and maid. What money do you have to purchase a villa? You have taken advantage of my family, secretly occupying our home. Now that I am back, the chief family will no longer be exploited by you. My mother was infuriated by her words, but attempted to reason with her. Classmate, this villa has always belonged to our family. My husband works as your family's butler. Yet we have never taken advantage of you. If you do not believe me, ask your parents if this villa is not ours. However, Cece rolled her eyes dismissively. My parents are soft-hearted and will surely say the villa belongs to you to save face. But I am not so easily fooled. You must give me an explanation today. My mother attempted to continue explaining, but my father intervened, refusing to engage further with Cece. He went straight to the room and retrieved the property deed for the villa, along with his identification card, proving that this villa indeed belonged to us. After verifying the documents, the police confirmed that the villa was indeed ours. The officer then turned to Cece. Young lady, are you aware that making false reports is a crime? You will need to accompany us to the police station. Cece was taken aback by my father's ability to produce the property deed.
Impossible.
That deed must be fake. Officer, do not be deceived by this family of thieves. Investigate further. That deed is undoubtedly fraudulent. She lunged at my father, attempting to snatch the property deed, but was intercepted by the police. We can discern the authenticity of the deed. You must come with us now, and we will contact your parents. Regardless of Cece's reluctance, she was forcibly taken away by the officers. The party commenced with such an unpleasant incident, and some classmates approached to comfort me. Just when everyone thought the celebration would come to a halt, my father presented a new activity plan, instantly revitalizing the students' spirits. My birthday celebration continued, and everyone quickly cast aside the earlier discomfort. As for Cece, it was said that her parents personally went to the police station to retrieve her. Upon learning that she had caused a scene at my birthday party and insisted that our villa was hers, her parents were greatly disappointed in her. Even the little sympathy they had once had for her diminished. She could clearly sense the shift in her parents' attitude and dared not continue her capricious behavior at home. To regain her parents' affection, she repeatedly assured them that she would achieve outstanding results in the upcoming monthly exam to bring glory to the Chi family. Seeing her demeanor improve and hearing her promise of good grades, her parents were pleased. They promised her that if she performed well, she would receive a grand gift. Everyone was aware that this grand gift would likely be shares in the Chi family company. Thus, Cece devoted herself to her studies, determined to secure the top position in the monthly exam. Since the incident at the villa, she had essentially become invisible in class. She felt embarrassed and no longer dared to make remarks that would curry favor with her as the wealthy heiress. Coupled with her recent focus on academics, everyone assumed she had recognized her mistakes and was prepared to amend her ways. However, on the day the monthly exam results were announced, Cece unexpectedly approached my desk, looking down at me from a superior position. Sanine, you managed to outmaneuver me previously, but this time it is different. This monthly exam will speak for itself based on true ability. Once I secure the top grade, my father will grant me shares in the Chi family, and I will be distinct from you all. With that, she let out a triumphant laugh. You lot, raised to be useless, can continue to languish alongside Sanine, the daughter of a mere butler. Her words resonated throughout the classroom, and all eyes turned to her, not with anger, but with confusion and pity. After all, it was indeed quite tragic to lose one's mind at such a tender age. Just as she was about to continue her tirade, the homeroom teacher entered the classroom with a beaming smile. Classmates, this time, the top 3 in the grade are all from our class. And our class's average score is also the highest in the grade. To celebrate your excellent performance, tonight's evening study session will allow for free activities. Upon hearing the teacher's words, the class erupted in joy, some even applauding excitedly. Cece was especially elated, standing up to exclaim, "Teacher, please announce who ranked first." Noticing Cece, the teacher's face briefly darkened, but she nodded and said, "I will now announce the names of the top 3 in the grade. The 3rd place goes to Jiang Zhao." Jiang Zhao stood up to receive the applause of the class. Cece cast a disdainful glance at her, scoffing. The 2nd place is our class monitor, Zhu Feng, who also stood to accept the applause. Cece reluctantly clapped twice. Her eyes remained fixed on the teacher, sparkling with anticipation. The teacher, feeling somewhat uncomfortable under her gaze, cleared her throat and continued, "The 1st place, once again, is our Sanine. Everyone please applaud." The entire class erupted into applause and cheers for me. Only Cece banged her fist on the desk. "This is impossible. How could Sen-in be first? My grades are so good. How could I not be among the top 3? There must be something wrong. The teacher looked at her in disbelief. Sen-in, your foundational knowledge has always been weaker than everyone else's, and your exam score was the lowest in the class, dragging our average down by 5 points. Considering that you just transferred and couldn't keep up, I refrained from penalizing you. How can you still have objections? Upon hearing this, Chi Cece erupted in fury. Impossible. There must be an issue with the scores. I will report that there has been tampering with the monthly exam results. How could I possibly score lower than a bunch of pampered rich kids? Chi Cece escalated the situation, disregarding the teacher's advice, and stormed into the principal's office. She demanded that the principal provide her with an explanation. Otherwise, the school would face dire consequences. Faced with Chi Cece's threats, the principal found it laughable and promptly summoned her parents. Mr. and Mrs. Chi arrived at the school, and upon learning of the situation, both wore expressions of embarrassment. Mr. Chi repeatedly apologized to the principal, while Mrs. Chi patiently explained to Chi Cece that the school does not make errors in grading. Yet Chi Cece refused to listen, firmly believing that as a stubborn rose, she could never score lower than a group of spoiled rich kids. The principal, amused by her obstinacy, had her test paper brought forth for her to review her score. Upon receiving her exam paper, Chi Cece discovered it was riddled with glaring red crosses. In disbelief, she exclaimed, "How is this possible? How could I have made so many mistakes?" The teacher, exasperated, replied, "Your foundation has always been shaky, and you constantly attempt to show off, using advanced problem-solving methods. While the approach may be correct, if the process is entirely wrong, the results will inevitably be incorrect, leading to 0 points." Chi Cece gazed at the absurdly low scores on her paper, her face reflecting utter despair. Yet she still raised her hand to point at me. What about her? On what grounds does Sen-in deserve to take first place? The principal rolled his eyes in exasperation. Sen-in has consistently ranked first in her grade. She is the crown jewel of our school. What issue do you have with her achieving this honor? Chi Cece, feeling somewhat defeated, took a step back, her shoulders drooping in despair. Cautiously, she glanced at her parents, only to find their gazes filled not only with disappointment, but also a hint of disdain. With a tinge of fear, she approached them. "Mom, Dad, I was wrong. I made a mistake this time. I assure you I will perform better next time." Mrs. Chi sighed in disappointment. "Whether you can improve is of little consequence. What matters is that one must not continue to err without recognizing the need for repentance." Mr. Chi turned his head away, unwilling to meet her gaze. "Mom and Dad, I truly understand my mistakes. I acted this way because I have endured much hardship outside, fearing that others would snatch away your affection. I simply lacked a sense of security. I promise I will not act like this again," she implored, her voice quivering with emotion. At that moment, my father, who had been standing behind Mr. and Mrs. Chi, spoke up. "Sir, madam, I have uncovered something regarding Miss Cece, and perhaps you should take a look." He then produced his mobile phone and handed it to Mr. Chi. After reviewing the contents of the phone, the expressions on Mr. and Mrs. Chi's faces shifted to one of utter resentment. "It turns out you are not our daughter at all. Previously, I had mentioned to my father that Chi Cece bore no resemblance to the Chi family, neither in appearance nor temperament. My father had also noted the drastic changes in her character since she was lost, yet the initial DNA test results indicated that she indeed was the Chi family's daughter. However, being the cautious man he is, my father chose to investigate Chi Cece's past during his final days working for the Chi family. Ultimately, he discovered that Chi Cece was the daughter of the family that had acquired the true daughter of the Chi family. When the DNA test was conducted, they had intentionally substituted the real Chi Cece's sample with hers. Thus, she was returned to the Chi family, while the genuine Chi Cece endured suffering in obscurity. My father had only just uncovered this truth when he received the call to join the Chi family at the school. With the truth now laid bare, the Chi couple wasted no time in contacting the authorities. The police apprehended Chi Cece and rescued the true Chi Cece. This time, the biological samples were personally collected by Mr. and Mrs. Chi, ensuring that no errors would occur again. Upon returning home, the real Chi Cece appeared somewhat timid, clearly having been bullied for years while living in a difficult environment, evoking deep sympathy. The thought of the false daughter they had cherished for so long filled the Chi couple with profound sorrow, prompting them to treat the true Chi Cece with even greater kindness. Initially, Mr. Chi contemplated having the false Chi Cece arrested and leaving the Chi household behind. He intended for my father to remain as the steward, but my father declined the offer. After resigning from the chief family, parents of my classmates soon approached him, eager to recruit him for their households. However, my father turned them all down. When I inquired about his refusal, noting that the salaries offered by my classmates' families were quite appealing, he smiled and said, "After years of service as a steward, it's time for me to take a break. A prestigious training institution for stewards has offered me a teaching position with a salary and the opportunity to invest in the business. This way, I will have more time to spend with you and your mother." Knowing that my father had found a more suitable path filled me with joy. Although my classmates might feel somewhat disappointed, it would not affect the bond we shared. After all, school is a place for acquiring knowledge. Thus concludes the tale. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and give a thumbs up to support us. Until we meet again in the next story.